Tuesday, the 4th of November in the year 2025. A couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. And you might not get your November check from SNAP because Snap Daddy Chuck Schumer is now defying the judge's order that forced President Trump to make sure that SNAP is funded through the shutdown. President Trump and his government lawyers responded and proved they, meaning President Trump, doesn't have anything that he can do. Why? Because he controls the money in the executive branch and it's all been allocated for other things besides SNAP. So it can't be used because one judge said you can't take money that's allocated for something else and redirect it to SNAP because you can't do what it was allocated for. So that threw the ball back in Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's court to decide what he would do. And it's been a couple of days since this has happened. What he should have done was end the shutdown, reopen the government, reopen the House and Senate, make sure the Senate passes the clean, continuous resolution, and then after the president signs it, they can take up SNAP funding. And Schumer, you need to get off your ass and make sure that's what they do. Pass SNAP funding. And if you don't, and it continues on, then the judge should be squawking at you, taking action against you. Okay? That's where we are. We need to pass SNAP funding. And the only way to allow SNAP to use their allocated funds is to give them permission to do so. And they need congressional permission to do so, which means that the House and the Senate must be open to give them permission. You can vote against it, but we just need enough to vote in favor of it. We need 60 people in the Senate to vote in favor of it, and we need, I don't know how many people in the House, but we'll get approval in the House. We'll get approval in the Senate very easily because we want to make sure that people get their November and their December benefit. January 2026, everybody wants to change rules, change eligibility rules. Hey, a lot of people might not get January. If you're an illegal immigrant, you might not get January. If you're on SNAP illegally as an American citizen, you might not get January. But everybody needs to pull their heads out of the rectums on the Democrat side and get things passed that they need to get passed and go from there. That's where I am today. Chuck Schumer now is the person making sure you don't get your SNAP check. Why? Because he's holding out for everything else he thinks he has leverage to hold out on, which he doesn't. He thought he could make President Trump the bad guy. Well, he can't do that. Well, I mean, he can, but it doesn't mean anything because legally President Trump can't do what President Trump said he wanted to do, if he can. So everybody needs to pull their heads out of the rectums and look at what they can do and how fast they can do it. And if they can't do it, then we need to get rid of these people, including you, Chuck. Finish your term and retire, or just retire. Okay? And if you do either resign today or finish your term and retire in November 2026 and do not run for re-election, it will be a crushing blow. A crushing blow to Zohan Mamdani. Because whoever replaces you is not going to be a Mamdaniite. Okay? We're not going to take the center of the world's finances, one of the centers of the world's finances, and radicalize it and just be terrible. We are not a socialist society. We are a capitalistic society. If you want to make it, then you have a right to make it, and you have a right to do with what you want. I am sick and tired of people who say, well, Elon Musk has hundreds of trillions of dollars or billions of dollars, and he should give it back to everybody else. Bull crap. Bull crap. If he was on Snap, he would have followed Snap's rules. And he would have been off Snap if he made that much money anyway. But he would have done his 15 hours of community service, or his 15 hours of work, or his 15 hours of going to school to get it. Ayanna Pressley, Massachusetts representative, a Democrat. We can't put requirements, she says, on people who get the SNAP benefit. Another bullcrap. We can put all kinds of requirements on the people who get it. We can require that illegal immigrants don't get it because they're not entitled to it. We can require that you don't get it if you're an American citizen and you don't qualify for it. We can clean it up. We can save all kinds of money so that this never happens again. The people who need it right now. The people who are entitled to it right now need it right now. They don't want to wait for Chuck Schumer to think he has leverage and he can use that to get anything else he wants. He is not going to get the $1.5 trillion that he hopes a Republican majority of the Senate is going to hand to him. They're not going to do it. He's not going to get an extension on the subsidies because subsidies don't work. Subsidies are, you have a $400 a month insurance policy. You bought from the Affordable Care Act for $1 a month. Then you paid in taxes $399 in a subsidy that went to your insurance company. So at the end of that month, your insurance company got $400. You didn't save anything. You paid $1, and then you paid a $399 subsidy tax. Get your head out of your own rectum. You didn't save a dime. If all of you people wanted to save a dime on that policy, you would have joined together and said to the insurance company, we're not going to buy your $400 a month policy. And when you don't, your big insurance company, Bean Counter, is going to say, hey, if we don't do something, we're not going to sell these policies. We're going to go broke. We can't have that happen. Really. I don't get it anymore. The things we need to do right now, we don't do. And the things that we need to do right now are make sure that SNAP is working and working for the people who are entitled to get it. And there may be requirement changes that you have to match in order to keep getting it, period, regardless of who you are. If you want it, you may have to do 15 hours of community service. If you want it, You might have to work for 15 hours. If you want it, you might have to go to school for 15 hours in a week. It's not. Looks like we reconnected. It really is not that difficult to pull it off. So call Chuck Schumer at his offices in New York, at his offices in the Senate, and tell him today to get off his ass and get to work. And if he doesn't, tell him you're going to stop paying him. And you're going to turn him back over to the judge who said, you need to fix this. And I hope the judge holds him in jail every day until he fixes it. Shut the government down because you don't get things your way. You're one of 100. You're not going to get it your way, especially when you're stupid. That's what I hope happens. We are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We pop in Tuesday and Thursday if we can that week. We pop in Saturday if we can, but Saturdays we come in at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I got to check something, so hold on for a minute. I got to go here. Okay, there was a message I had to read. But that's where we are. That is where we are. So think about that. Go to all the other broadcasts that you watch and think about that with them as well. Get your friends to watch Boogie with the Bull, either live if they can. Whoops, I got to go down. There are people live. I didn't think about that this morning. Johnny 7675 says hi. Good morning, Johnny. But this is where we are. Either they need to make Chuck Schumer do what he needs to do, or we need to get rid of Chuck Schumer, one way or another. That's what we need to do. We need to pass the continuing resolution. Well, we need to bring the government back. That allows us to reopen the House and the Senate. That allows the Senate to sign the continuous resolution, clean continuous resolution, and President Trump signs it. So we're okay there. Then we push through SNAP funding, and the president will sign it. And then, and only then, we decide what Chuck Schumer's fate is. Thank you for all that you do. I don't do much, Johnny. I don't really do enough. I just come on and speak my conscience sometimes and hope I'm saying the right thing and that people like it. We're on Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, which is, we're also on my profile on Facebook. You only have 30 days to watch what we do that you see on Facebook. You have as much time as YouTube leaves something there, and or you can get a hold of me and I can message it to you if I still have it. We continue to make broadcasts in whatever allocation of memory that Restream allows us, and when that's full, then they're gone because I got to make room for the new ones. That's just how it works. So, I just do the stuff that a lot of people don't want to do because they either don't understand it or they just don't want to do it. Facebook makes it tough to do just about everything that a group owner or an admin needs to do, and I just sit down and do it. I've been here for 17 years, and unlike others, I guess I'm lucky. I haven't had my account taken away. Every once in a while, yeah, I do get suspended for a week here and a week there, and I go through hell because I want to be on Facebook. But during those times, I tell other people, if you can't be on Facebook because they won't let you on Facebook, and they won't let you on Threads, and they won't let you on Instagram, F the three of them and go someplace else. Go to MeWe, go to StreetLock, go to Gab, go to wherever. And if you've never heard of Gab, go to gab.com, sign up, and look for it. You can't get it on Apple or Google. You can get an Apple or a Android version on Gab, but they're not in your app stores to go buy it because they don't like it. But he's making it work. Then you can go over to MeWe and do the same thing. But on MeWe, you can get an Android or an Apple app. So there are plenty of places for you to go if you can't be on Facebook. Just like I've said before, if I can't do it on Facebook anymore, I wouldn't do it on Facebook anymore. Same thing on YouTube. I'd go somewhere else, and they all know this. But, we're here to do what we can. We're looking at Rumble, Johnny, and I appreciate the thought, but Rumble is one of those that doesn't give you an easy link. I think they give you a RTMP code and stream key, and if it's not persistent, which means that once you do it, that's the one you will continue to use, and you have to do it every day. It takes too much time to do it each day, because for the record, I'm a one-man shop and I can only do so much. Like I said, we crack open the laptop and the camera's there and the mic is there, and we just do it. We subscribe to the KISS the KISS theory, which is keep it simple, stupid. But that's just me. Anyway, so we pass it around Facebook as much as we can. We use the YouTube channel to pass it around the internet as much as we can. We invite you to come join us if you're watching and you think you might like to come on and join me in my rants of speaking or your own rants of speaking. That's just what we do. Today's Tuesday. So we had an opportunity to come on. Thought Donna was working. She's on her way home after running an errand because I guess she wasn't needed. It's just a terrible thing. If you got to go to work to find out you're not needed that day, you should get paid for the whole day because you went in thinking that you wanted to. And if they knew that they didn't need you somewhere, they should have called you and told you, take the day off. We don't need you. But I don't want to start nitpicking about everything. It is something that I don't want to nitpick about anyway because it happens every single day in America. Anyway, I am Dave Glovin, and you are not. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Sometimes when you have Parkinson's, you have to slow down and speak it easy. So you explain to me why 15 hours of community service or 15 hours of work or 15 hours of going to school is too hard on a person who is entitled to SNAP benefits to get the SNAP benefits. Plus, we're moving from this thing of traditional funding, I guess I want to call it, to President Trump really wants to get rid of your income tax and get rid of the IRS and move us to a tariff-funded existence. And you might even get decent return because in theory, you're a shareholder of the USA. If you were born here, or if you're a citizen, you're a shareholder. So you're entitled to some of the money back. It's just time that people wake up. At some point, I guess, we gave the government away. And the people that we gave it to decided we are lifetime slaves of the government. It isn't how it goes. It isn't how we were founded. The government works for you. And if they don't, then get rid of them. And if you can't find people that do, get rid of that government program. Because odds are we don't need it. And I said yesterday, and I still feel it today, $174,000 a year plus bonuses, if you're entitled to those bonuses, bullcrap. Bullcrap. The average income of a person sending someone to Washington, D.C. to get $174,000 a year plus bonuses is not $174,000 a year plus bonuses, meaning that person, that citizen, doesn't make $174,000 a year plus bonuses to elect you. I wish they did, but we don't. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. My Social Security is about $13,000, $14,000 a year. And thanks to the increase I get of 2.7%, I think, in 2026, it might be a little over $1,600. So they pay me my Social Security, which I'm entitled to with everything I have. Nothing compared to what I pay them. It's time we send people to Washington that want to represent us, not get there to Washington and realize how big their pockets can get with everybody who wants to support them, to do things for them. I want them to do something for me. But I'm not going to pay them any more than $174,000 a year to do it. I'm certainly going to take away, if I could, their right to give themselves a raise before they do anything and even earn that raise. Where else can you do that? You can't go to work and give yourself a raise before you do anything. Where are we? We're not where we should be. And if it's because of the people that are there, it's time for a convention of states where the states sit down with citizens and they make the rules. Because we, the people, make the rules for we, the people. And if you can't do that, then you need to get out of the government. And odds are your bureau of the government probably needs to be gotten rid of, like I said before. But anyway, it's 26 minutes into the extra Boogie with the Bull broadcast, and I'm sure you have heard this all before, and maybe it will make you go do something. Like I said, call Chuck Schumer and tell him to get his head out of his rectum and make sure the clean continuous resolution passes the Senate. Make sure President Trump signs it. Make sure the government is reopened so that the House and Senate can be reopened, because that's We put those people in charge of doing things for us. And that's the way it should be. They're not doing it anymore, and they're still getting paid, except for those that voluntarily gave their pay away or told them not to get paid. Not to pay them, but they get retro at the end. So to me, that's like paying subsidies for an insurance policy that with the subsidies, you pay the full price anyway. Barack Obama knew when he finally passed the Affordable Care Act that someday the subsidies would go away. And that someday is today. And some people hope that he will go away. It looks great when he's standing on stage next to somebody running for office. It just shows how stupid they are because of how stupid he is. Very smart man, but very stupid. If you really want that, then you vote for him. You vote socialist, and you see what happens to the city of New York. You will see it finally turn into the hellhole that it really is. But if you don't vote for Zohan Mamdani, and you might be able to vote for Riley Gaines or Kurdiwa, things are going to change for the better. You know that. I know that. They know that. It's going to get better. And J.B. Pritzker, get your head out of your rectum. You need help. If one person dies in your state, you need help. If one person gets shot, you need help. I must be stupid because I think you need help. People that live in Chicago and live in Illinois know you need help. There's nothing wrong with asking for that help. It will change the dynamic of your state, maybe. You might not be a sanctuary state anymore. But it shouldn't be sanctuary for people who shouldn't be in this country anyway. So you do what you want to do, but understand we're going to come in and help you the way we think things should be. Same way we would help the federal government or ask the federal government for help, because that's what we put them there for. Come in and help us. Because things are out of control and we just need them fixed. Look at Washington, D.C. It got fixed. It's not perfect. And maybe we could cut down on the military presence there. But maybe we shouldn't. Because if the moment we do, the bad people are going to go and be bad again. And you can blame them being here if they're illegal immigrants. You can blame them on the Biden administration. You can blame them on the Obama administration. If they're not here anymore, you can blame that on President Trump. Or if they're in jail because they did something bad here, you can blame that on President Trump if you want to. Just think. Think how great this place could be if everybody worked together. Honestly, how great this country could be. Everybody around the world thinks we're great, but if they look at us inside, they'd laugh. And people want to be concerned as to why President Trump might end up getting us into a war in Nigeria. Because they're killing Christians, innocent Christians. They're just killing people because they're Christian. Again, why can't we just break bread one day and agree on everything that we agree on? Then agree on everything we disagree on and work on that. That's what the United Nations was basically set there to do, unite us all together, all the nations of the world. So it's not a bad thing to help everybody keep to a way that we want everybody to be. Ukraine and Russia might come to an understanding, but it won't be Ukraine and Russia coming to an understanding that basically takes all the good parts of Ukraine and gives them to Russia. That's wrong. And President Trump knows that that's wrong. You can't do that. You can't strip Ukraine of everything and not do anything to Russia. That's Russian collusion, if you ask me. Eastern Europe doesn't deserve that. No. Mr. Putin can try to put the USSR back together again, and maybe he'll be successful, but I don't think he will. Mikhail Gorbachev said, hey, you want to be free? Okay, you're all now free. So he can be mad at Mikhail Gorbachev. I don't know what else there is to harp about this morning, and I really don't want to harp about stuff. And I always say that every morning. I really don't want to harp about stuff. I really don't. I really want to just come on one morning and go, there's nothing to harp about today. Let's just have a good time and drink coffee. Or any kind of caffeinated beverage that you want to drink if you don't drink coffee, because there are a lot of people that don't drink coffee, but they like their caffeinated beverages just as much as I do. I started the morning with no caffeine on ginger ale, and I'm finishing that with my 40 ounces of coffee. Actually, it's only 30. It would be impressive if it was 40. But I would. I'd like to just come on one morning and go, what kind of coffee do you like? What kind of mattress do you like for sleeping? Do you wake up better because you sleep on this one? What are you doing today? What are you doing today? I just want to know what you're doing. Do you have a neighbor? Do they help? Do you help them? That's what we're about. This BS that we don't need to have as BS every morning, we all know this. It's just we've played this game for so long. I don't play games anymore. I'm 63 and I got enough games going on. The game of macula, I forget what they call it, macular edema in my right eye. I get a shot every 2 months. I have Parkinson's, and some days I can't move, and some days I can move great. I could run a marathon, but some days I usually can't. That's important. Helping people with that. You know, my bipolar makes me think I can help everybody with everything. So maybe I can't. I have to accept that. It'd be a sad day if I accept that. It really would. And I'm not trying to make you do anything you don't want to do. It's the same game as it's always been for 4, maybe 5 years by now. Bring a pad of paper to every broadcast. Write down write down something if you like it. Write down something if you don't like it. At the end of the show, cross out as many of the likes as you can and see all the dislikes. That's what we should be talking about. And I am different than most broadcasts because I want you to talk about it in the live chat. I want to be able to flash it on the screen. You know, I picked. You're doing a good job, Dave, to show you. Well, you don't have to come here and tell me that I'm doing a good job. It's not about the praise of having people come and tell me that I'm doing a good job. It's about having people come here and again, break bread, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and let's see if we can fix it. And it can be anything. We can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be political. That's what I tell people every time I do this. I love classic cars. I have a very good friend of mine. I look for a classic black Mercedes-Benz sedan that I can send him a picture of every day. I moved on to other things. AI-drawn vehicles that he could use in his livery business just for fun. But, I love classic music too. Motorhead. I miss Ozzy really bad because he sang Dreamer. I'm a classic dreamer. I dream every day that we're out of this rut, this hole that we have fallen into. I keep doing it because I hope maybe one day, even if you don't come on and you don't watch, that maybe you and I will figure it out. And then you might come on. I didn't do this to sit in front of a camera and a microphone and spout at you. I did that a long time ago. I did radio where I sat in front of a microphone and I spouted. And I used to say, if you don't like what I spout, turn the dial to the left or turn the dial to the right until you find someone you like. Same thing. If you like what I do, you watch what I do, I hope. If you don't like what I do, you watch what I do anyway, and you tell me what I should be doing. But yeah, there is so much other stuff to talk about. I'm 63. I have 3 sons and 3 daughters-in-law and grandchildren. I never thought I'd have grandchildren because I never thought I'd be married. I mean, talk about good times, talk about bad times, talk about anything. Drink coffee and have fun. Have a good time. But I guess in social media, you can't do that because no one wants to have a good time, I guess. Or you do funny things like I did. I put this beautiful Dell Latitude 3570 in a box. When we moved from Connecticut to Florida, the box went straight to a storage center near where we were living, and I forgot about it. And I don't know why I did that, because I took my junk compared to it. I took my Androids and I took my Chromebook 3 on the road with us for the drive. I wish I would have taken this on the road. And I talk every day about old technology versus new technology. Old technology is Windows 10 Pro, but I love it. It does everything I need to do so much better than my Chromebook did. But my Chromebook was old and got to the end of its being useful. Android 9, 2 gigabytes, helping helping Chrome 103. I looked the other day. This is on Chrome 141, I believe. And it's got 8 gigabyte of RAM. And I joked with someone yesterday because the tech last I burnt out with the coffee spills one day has 16 gig of RAM. And a tech that I trust and I know very well said, hey, it might be possible to put 16 gigabyte of RAM out of that one and put it into the Dell. I can't guarantee it will work, but hey. So I started thinking, hey, it'd be totally awesome to have a 24 gigabyte laptop. But I don't know if it can be done. Didn't matter. It was fun to think about it because what could you do besides everything with a 24 gigabyte laptop? You can do anything you wanted to do with it. So it was fun to think about it for a while. With an 8 gigabyte laptop, you can find the right steering wheel and pedals and drive yourself the hell away from all of this, if that's what you want to do. I'm hoping Santa brings me a steering wheel and a pedal set for Christmas. Although I'm Jewish, so I hope he brings it for Hanukkah. But I don't know. You bring the steering wheel for Hanukkah, bring the pedals for Christmas. I don't care. Be good to yourself and each other. Do what you want to do. Don't get wrapped up in this mess. It just turns into stress and anger and BS that you don't need. It really does. And unfortunately, at 63, that's when I learned this lesson. Yesterday, I did my Monday morning caffeine. And then I did some things for, if Johnny is the Johnny that I think he is, I did some stuff for Johnny. And I thought about some stuff for someone else, but I'm not quite sure that I can pull off what he wants. But I'm going to try. And I talked to a group owner that I love and respect dearly, who has me as an admin in their group and basically lets me be the group owner. I did some stuff for him. I really didn't spend much time on Facebook, reading the news feed and being upset, or watching YouTube videos and being upset. Because I don't want to be upset anymore. I got Lewy body dementia, and I got Parkinson's, and I can't drive anymore because I have both of them. But if they told me I had to work 15 hours a week for my SNAP, I could sit in front of a computer and answer the phone and dispatch limos, because I've done that before. I could answer the phone and look at the computer screen and dispatch security guards, because I've done that before. But I could learn how to sit in front of a screen, answer a phone, and dispatch trucks. Or whatever. And it's really not that bad. I would really welcome the opportunity of getting out of my home 15 hours a week. Whether I did 15 hours in one day, 3 hours over 5 days, 5 hours over 3 days, whatever. I would enjoy it. You are what you want to be, or you are what you're made into being. And if you don't like what you're being made into or who you are, then change it. I really enjoy these broadcasts. I always say I'm only going to do 30 minutes, and I end up doing 46 or longer. So I hope you're getting some use out of what I'm doing. Because there are so many other aspects of your life. You could sit there with that pad of paper and write down what you like and write down what you don't like and work it all into a list of what you like and a list of what you don't like. And from there, you can be happy because you broke bread and sat down and agreed on everything with yourself that you agree with and everything you don't. And you can work on what you don't agree on. It's that simple. My dad taught me that. And one of the best things I love about Lisa Slowhand over on the Facebook side of this, recently lost her dad. And I can identify with everything that she is going through right now because 6 years ago, we, all 5 kids on my side of life, lost our dad. And we lost our dad to metastasized stage 4 cancer. They couldn't help him. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't help him. So I'm there to support her when I see the day that she's having. Or when she shares something that's beautiful about thinking about dad. It makes me feel so good. It makes me want to rip open my laptop and think about my dad. Because it will sound stupid, one of the craziest things I did was I would chat my dad because now his Facebook page is a legacy page. It's private. So I'd get into a chat with my dad, and I knew it was one-sided, but I felt like he was listening or he was talking to me, and I felt good. Get rid of all the bad stuff in your life. If someone tells you they don't like you for doing something that you do or you did, talk to them about it. And then explain, well, I'm going to do it my way anyway. You have a right to be you, and you have a right to be happy. You have a right to not be happy if you don't want to be happy. But think about how being happy is better than being sad about everything. I get up every morning, even if it's not a Boogie with the Bull day, and I feel good about what I do. Because maybe I reached somebody out there who heard what I said and they do it. And I joke around at the end of the broadcast, if you thought it was a good broadcast, comment what you liked about it and give it a thumbs up. But at the same token, if you think it was a bad broadcast and you hated it, tell me why in the comments too and give it a thumbs down. There's a joke behind that, though. If you give it a thumbs down and say you hated it and tell me why, odds are there's going to be somebody out there that's going to hear about that and they're going to watch the broadcast and they're not going to hate it like you did. They're going to like it. But it's not about whether you like it or you don't, really. That's only important to where it's placed. And being placed on YouTube and being placed on Facebook, hey, and it's not about money either because I don't want to monetize it. I don't want your money. I don't need your money to come and do this every opportunity I can get. And yes, I'm so addicted to broadcasting that I would do it every opportunity I got. I would do it longer than I do it. when I do it. But I don't think that people are going to sit and watch for more than an hour. I don't think people are going to watch for more than 30 minutes. I'd like to get it to 15 minutes. Then I'd like to break it from 15 minutes down to 3 5-minute segments. But I do what I got to do because, like I said, I can't find people that want to do it with me. Even if you want to come on and tell me to shut up, I'll listen to you tell me why I should shut up. But if there was someone else with me right now, I'd shut up and listen to them. I got so many questions I could ask them. And we'd have a good time and drink coffee. And right now, I wish I could drink coffee with my dad. One of the last things my dad did was open 3 coffee bars in Boston. And he worked them as long as he could. And then he retired. But I'd be sitting with my dad drinking coffee if I could right now. Or talking on the phone with my dad. Or talking in Messenger if that was the only way. He is a smart man. So there's nothing wrong with thinking about your dad or thinking about your mom or thinking about your dad and your mom or your brothers and your sisters who aren't here any longer. I'm stuck between thinking they've moved to a different plateau or plane or whatever than us. What's the word? They moved on to a higher plane. They got their eternal reward, but they moved on to a higher place where up where they are, they don't fight like this, you know. But I don't know because I've never been there. I've been there in my dreams. Maybe I was there really. I know that I have a whole lot of fun being here on Earth. Thanks, Johnny, for watching. Johnny 76752. I know who you are, I think. Thanks, John, for watching. And I think it's 11 or 11:30 p.m. over on the YouTube side. If you go to freedomfighterradio.com, it'll kick you over to the YouTube channel. And if you just search Freedom Fighter Radio over on YouTube, you'll find them too. And you can watch them. But Johnny shares it to me at about 9:30 every night, and I'm already in bed. And he's on, like I said, 11:30, and I'm already asleep. So I tell him every morning when he sends it to me that I'll share it as a podcast, but I missed the live because I'm asleep, unfortunately. But try to be there live for it. 11:30. I think it's 11:30. But be there and watch it and help support him through what he's doing. Me, you just support me by watching. Because as I said, when I can't afford to do it anymore, I won't do it. Or I'll start asking for your money. But we went from paid restream to free restream because free restream is giving us everything we need to know. I don't care about restream being up in the corner there. I don't care about any advertising they run. If you see an ad, support it because they support me being here right now. When I can, we'll go back to paid restream at $19 a month, but I don't know if and when that will happen. Because again, I don't want to ask for your money. I don't want you to subscribe, meaning pay money to be here. I don't want to sell stars on the Facebook side so that you think I have read your comment. I want to be able to read your comment. And if it's important enough, I want to put it on the screen. Johnny has an appointment right now. I want everybody to know he's not available right now because he has to go because he has an appointment. I like to do things like that to poke fun at people because I want everybody to laugh. I really do. The next thing I want to learn is something I've never done before, but add scenes, which are like videos you want to share in the broadcast. I know you can do it because I play the intro every time by adding a scene every day. And so I know I can do it. I just have to spend time and find things that you might want to watch that aren't really long, because I don't really want to, bore you with a bunch of videos. But, from time to time, there's something you should see, or there might be something that you want everybody to see. So let's work on that together. A minute, 2 minutes of video that you want somebody to see, as long as it's not copyrighted and we can use it. Or if it's copyrighted, you give me permission to use it, meaning that the copyright belongs to you. Yeah, we'll throw it in. Matter of fact, the other day I was at an event and a DJ played Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And in my head, I changed girls to broadcasters and then just sat there and sang the song. Broadcasters want to have fun, and had a lot of fun singing it. It made me think that maybe we should do a broadcast where everybody gets to make an original parody of Just Want to Have Fun. And then I have a good friend of mine that, in talking with him, made me think that he can be Simon Cowell and he can be Blake Shelton at the same time, as far as judging. So it would be fun to have him on as a judge, and I could probably find a couple more, and maybe even find some prizes, real prizes, if you want real prizes. But I thought that would be a fun broadcast too. The parodies of Just Want to Have Fun, because that's all I want to do. I just want to have fun and drink coffee and be happy. But I don't want to drink coffee at 7:00 at night when the Just Want to Have Fun parody edition would be on. So I have to find some other kind of caffeine to drink, or no caffeine to drink. But anyway, we have come up on 1 hour. I have tangented as much as I want to tangent for today, and that's what I like to do. I just go from one tangent to another and hope that it fits in with your view. We posted promos today in just about, 40, 50 groups on Facebook. But no, that's not what I want to do. I want to do a quick Xander Gibb memorial pre-rehearsal. Xander Gibb was someone I knew who had several broadcasts. And every time he came on, he would come on one of his YouTube channels and he would share that to wherever. Then he'd go to another one of his YouTube channels and share that, and then go to another one. But he always read the list as he was doing it. So, Donald Trump Group, you have it. We Need Patriots, you have it. Red Patriots for America, you have it. The Red MAGA Nation, you have it. Conservative Freedom Defenders with Art Sessa, my buddy, you have it. Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, you have it, because you're one of my favorite groups. MAGA News Nation, you have it. United Patriotic News, you have it. American Regulators, you have it. Conspiracy Truth Video and Meme Private Group 2025, with Mark Samuel, you have it. And I had reached the limit there. And those were the important ones to get it to right off the top of my head. If you want to help me, make sure it's in groups that you're in, or let me know of those groups, because if I'm a member of those groups, and I probably am, I'll make sure it gets there. If you can't watch me live, meaning 8:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 10 a.m. if we're doing it, or Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. in the evening, Eastern time. Again, those times are all Eastern. If you can't watch me when I'm on, let me know. I'll message it to you. And when you don't want me to message it to you anymore, I'll stop. I'll put it in your group. If you are a group owner or an admin in a group that has permission that wants to see it in your group. The problem with putting it in a lot of groups is it doesn't stay all political for the hour. So a lot of political groups don't want it. I put it in all of my groups, which are political, but you know what? It gives people a break from the politics. So, like I said, if you know of a group on Facebook side, make sure you tell me to put it there every morning or podcast it there every morning. And that is what I will do. If you can't watch it live, then I'll send it to you on Messenger if you want me to do that. And it's just about making sure that everybody gets it if they want it. We'll put it there, or we'll tailor it to wherever we're sending it one day, or we may just do it on YouTube one day. You know, because I only get 2 destinations right now on free YouTube. On free Restream, you only get 2 destinations. So we're using Facebook and YouTube. But you never know. Got a lot of interesting things we want to do, that we want to talk about, with a lot of interesting people, if I could ever get them. I'd like to get President Trump for 5 minutes. That might turn it into 15 minutes. I'd love to get Dan Bongino, although he's very busy with his FBI work. I would love to get Dan Bongino for a few minutes. I'd like to get Steve Bannon for a few minutes, or Alex Jones for a few minutes. People that have their hand on America. I would love to hear from them. I would love to learn from them. Will I get them? I don't know. Someone this morning said to me before I came on that if you really want President Trump to see you this morning, you need to post it on Truth Social and tag President Trump. The worst that could happen is he calls and says, hey, I'll do 15 minutes with you. And it would be fun. And he probably doesn't drink coffee, but I'll drink coffee. It would be fun. It would really be fun. So again, if you like what I do, be in the chat group. Make sure you tag me on Facebook. Tag me to let me know that you're chatting me right now, and that will make sure that I make sure the chat is on my screen. Because on my screen, I see the chat on Facebook. I see the chat on YouTube. Those are the only 2 things we monitor right now. Can we be a little bit more advanced? Yes, we can. We can be like my good friend J.J. McCartney, who got up every morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he probably made his coffee, I don't know. But then he sat in front of his studio equipment and made his studio on whatever service he used. And then he put it on YouTube, and he linked it to everywhere he wanted it to be with a continuous loop thing until he was ready to go. send it to like 400 or 500 groups on Facebook until I think he finally got kicked off of Facebook. But yeah, I can do the same thing. We could link everywhere through YouTube. We just post the link everywhere that we're live. You know? And I would do that. Well, now I'm able to do that. The 8 GB Dell Latitude 3570 Windows 10 Pro is capable of doing that. So yeah, there's a lot of things we could do. A lot of places we could be. A lot of people we could have on. You know, the only rule that I ask if you want to come on is that you are civil to me, like you want to be treated civilly, and you don't yell at me, I won't yell at you, and have fun and drink coffee. So if you are a coffee roaster that sells on Facebook or YouTube, you're welcome to come on. And if you're a coffee roaster that sells on Facebook or YouTube, another one, you're welcome to come on. And another one, up to 5 of you that want to come on. And we'll have a taste test of each one and try to drink coffee together and see which one wins most popular. And if you're a coffee drinker and you have come across a Maxwell Apartments can or container and you don't want it, I would really appreciate if you would talk to me because I want one. Kraft rebranded, I heard, or was going to rebrand for a short time their Maxwell House coffee as Maxwell House Apartment. Excuse me, as Maxwell's Apartments. And I don't know if they ever did it. I didn't really follow much further. I just want to see one because we drink Maxwell House in our home. Every once in a while, I shy away and drink something else, but Donna prefers Maxwell House, so we drink Maxwell House a lot of the time. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. We've gone over an hour, and I really don't want to just keep tangenting this morning. But the important thing I want you to do is find a phone number for Chuck Schumer in New York, all of his offices in New York, as well as all of his offices at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., or wherever his offices are, and tell him it's time to give up the shutdown, open the government, put the House and the Senate back to work so that the Senate can pass the continuing resolution, the clean continuing resolution, and then move to SNAP funding. And I don't care really at this point. I'm sorry. This is a terrible thing to say. But I don't care if the illegal immigrants and the American abusers and frauders continue through November and December. Just come in January of 2026. But just get the goddamn program restarted. And in order to do that, Schumer, you have to end the shutdown, reopen the House and Senate, do what you need to do to pass the continuing resolution. And you need to extend that because November 21st, we could run into a problem and it gets shut down again. So we're not going to be stupid. Just end the shutdown because you understand that you need to do a lot more work to convince us to give you $1.5 trillion of tax money, which I don't think we're going to give you ever. I really don't. Illegal immigrants might be a priority to you, but they're not a priority to everybody else. Everybody else is a priority to themselves. If you are legally here in the United States of America, you are the priority. Whether you were born here, whether or not you came here and became a citizen, you are the priority. And if the illegal immigrants don't want to accept that, well, then they can leave and go somewhere else where they will be the priority. Tom Homan has already said that. If you want to leave, you can volunteer to leave. But if we find you, you might end up leaving. And when it comes to you and family, well, you may have to decide whether or not you want to leave with your loved one who is going to leave. Abrego Garcia, I believe, left, came back so that he could be treated like he got all these rights, and then left again, I believe. I don't know if his wife and his son left with him. A very good friend of mine, his green card had expired, I guess, and he was here for a long time. After that, one day they stopped him and they told him he was going to leave. And he said, "What about my wife and my son?" And I believe he said he was told they can leave with you if they want. Your wife is here legally, and your son was born here. So it's up to them as to whether or not they want to leave with you. I don't know what happened. But, I'm sorry to sound like that, but, we need to fix this country so that the people who are the priority are the citizens and those who became citizens legally. And that's it. That's just how it is. Then we can help everyone. But you can't make those who are illegally here the priority that those who are here legally pay for and then don't have enough to pay for them. And we say this every morning, and it stays the same way. That's why I say I wish some days we could someone would tangent me into something else. Anything. Like I said, classic cars, classic music. The only problem is that on classic music, we can't play it unless we get copyright permission, because Facebook wants to make it a copyright violation. So in batches of 500, they send it to the copyright owner. Then we have to wait for the copyright owner to contact us. And usually, most of the time, I say fair use. And they go, "Oh, you know about fair use?" Yeah. They ask me what it is, and I tell them, and they go, "Oh, okay. But next time, you should ask for permission." And I go, "Time I will. Because if I don't, they're going to ban me in Belize and 13 other countries." Anyway, I just keep rambling like I said I wouldn't do. And now it's been an hour and 15 minutes that we've been rambling. And now I feel good because I got a lot off my chest. I hope you feel good because I put you in a good feeling day. So now that I've gotten your day started, I'm going to drink coffee, which I learned from watching Scott Adams, who you've seen in the media that he contacted President Trump because he needed help with his metastasized cancer. So he asked for help, which is what any American should feel they have a right to do. And he was referred to Secretary Kennedy from Health and Human Services. And hopefully he will get the help that he needs, and hopefully he will still be with us for as long as he wants to be here. I know that once your cancer metastasizes, consequences, it's a very slim to no chance that they might be able to keep you here. My dad's cancer metastasized along his spine, I guess, or whatever, into his brain cell and into his brain. And they told him they just couldn't fix him. Which is okay, because I think he was ready to go, to get out of the situation that he was in. But you're an American citizen. You deserve the best help you can get. So Scott set an example using himself to wake you up and let you know that you can do this. And hopefully maybe he can help, because they're doing it to him. And maybe that's health care that everybody in the United States of America deserves. Again, we can only pay for the people who are legally here and deserve that. We can't pay for illegal immigrants to have it. It would really be nice if we could, but I don't know. Anyway, an hour and 18 minutes is plenty of time for a Tuesday morning on a day that we didn't have a broadcast plan. Maybe I should stop saying that, because I get out of bed in the morning and I figure I'm going to do one if I have the opportunity to do one. Anyway, it is 9:47 a.m. So yeah, we've been here for a while. I'm Dave Glovin, you're not. I thank you for the privilege of your time. Appreciate those that will watch it in a podcast, and I hope that you will tell me where to send it as a podcast, both on and off of Facebook. And that's how it goes. And if you think there's a better time, I did take it from 10 o'clock when I no longer had a co-host, and I moved it to 8:30 because that was the time I wanted to do it. And I no longer have a co-host because of things that I did. Okay? I just accepted that that is what I have done. Okay? But, like I said, maybe unless there's a reason to have a guest, I'm better solo. I don't know. There are some guests that I would love to have every morning, if I could. And I could rattle a list of them off, but I'd still be here for another hour and 18 minutes. Anyway, watch Michael Anthony on the Facebook side if you can, doing his broadcasts, or see if you can catch any of his old broadcasts. But you can read his page and catch his words of wisdom throughout the day. You should watch The American Rebellion Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Jerry Michaels, Chuck Cook, Jen Woodruff a lot, the homeschooling grandma, as I call her, the homeschooling mom, but I call her the homeschooling grandma because she and Jesse are still celebrating the birth of their first of many grandchildren. So make sure you tune into The American Rebellion Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the American Rebellion blogger page on the Facebook side. There are other places you can watch it, but that's the easiest one to remember because that's where I share it from. So watch that. At 5 p.m. Eastern, you have to adjust your time accordingly because he comes out of Kansas City, Kansas or Missouri. I don't know. It's one of those two, but it's Kansas City in Kansas, I believe. You can catch the Jim Price Show Daily Update. I think that's what it's actually called, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. And You'll learn a lot of stuff that you didn't know that you should know, and you'll have fun. You won't drink coffee, you'll drink water out of a copper cup, I think. But you'll have a lot of fun in the live chat, and you'll have a lot of fun with Jim as well. The Jim Price Show daily update, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And there's a lot of other people. I can't think of who they are right now. Ray Fagans with the Patriots Lab Uncensored. When you get a chance to catch him, please watch him. Please share him. We have him on a lot. But please do your best to share the broadcast that I mentioned above. If you do a broadcast or a podcast, I would appreciate it if you would put it in Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, which is a public group, and United Patriotic News, which is also a public group, because that way people will see them. You can also put them in as many private groups of mine as you want to. And if you need help putting it on the Facebook side or passing it around the internet, let me know, and I will be glad to help you. You can also watch Farley Malloris, one of the best and at times even funniest or saddest, depending on how you want to look at it, broadcasters I have ever seen. Farley Malloris. He said something about the Dodgers spending $1 billion the other day for 2 pitchers and then winning, I guess, back-to-back World Series. And he thanked the Dodgers for doing so. And my response to Farley was that if they spent $1 billion, the thanks they got to me would be that the ticket prices for Dodger games will have gone up. So that goes with that. Classic Harleys are fun too, Johnny, who may or may not still be here. But classic Harleys are fun. Classic bikes are fun. I wanted to move to a bike, but it was an old bike that a friend was letting me ride that was 1 down and 4 up. And I kept going 1 down and wanting to go further, and I would stall it. So I gave up. Now, with my balance, my Parkinson's acting up here and there, I need a 3-wheel trike. So I will plug in a steering wheel and a pedal set, and I will drive myself out of here, which is what I'm going to do right now. We've gone an hour and a half, and that's plenty of time. Anyway, come back tomorrow morning at 8:30, and we'll drink some coffee together, and we'll have a good time, and who knows what we will talk about. And who knows who will join me to talk about whatever we all want to talk about. Because one of my favorite ways to describe the show is whatever comes out of our mouths. Because you never know what's going to come out of our mouths when we're all together. You might already know what will come out of my mouth, but it's more fun to watch it. Anyway, I'm Dave. I have to slow down. I am Dave Glovin. And I thank you for the privilege of your time, because it is a privilege that you come to a Boogie with the Bull broadcast when we are live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. On Friday, we call it Red Friday Morning Caffeine. Remember, everyone deployed Friday. That's in segment 1, about 15 minutes, and then we go on to the rest of the stuff that we normally do. And that's that. So I thank you for watching. I hope you will come back to the next time. Give you the joy of drinking coffee right now and or throughout the day. Yeah, a lot of fun with coffee as the topic of the show. So as I said earlier, if you are a roaster or a seller of coffee on either the Facebook side or on the YouTube side, let me know if you'd come on. And the only thing I will ask is I gotta get a sample of your coffee. You don't have to send me a whole pound. You don't have to send me a half a pound. You can send me a K-cup to brew a cup. And I'll brew them all. And I will drink them all. And then we all can talk about which one we like best. And that's all I can do. As I said, I can drink Maxwell House. I can drink Sanka. I can drink just about everything because you can contaminate coffee. No, I joke. Call it. You can contaminate coffee any way you like. Put in whatever you like. Anyway, I really don't want to keep going. It's an hour and 27 minutes. So by an hour and a half, you can enjoy the rest of your day on the Facebook side or on the YouTube side or any side that you want to tell me we should post at. And if you can help me, then we'll do it. Because like I said, I'm one guy with a laptop that is capable of handling it. I just don't know any other way than going live and then going live and being able to share the link from YouTube to any other place while we're live. And in order to do that, I need a few people to talk amongst yourselves while I do the broadcast magic of live sharing. So at least come to the broadcast and help me out while I do that. Anyway, have fun. It's been fun. Drink some coffee. Have a great day. Have a fantastic weekend if I don't see you before that. But I hope I do see you tomorrow, Wednesday. I hope I do see you Friday and maybe Thursday night, maybe Saturday morning. You're more than welcome to come and join me when you see me. Boogie with Bull is open to everybody. And on that note, we're going to slide up here and hit this one. Double V's for victory. We have gone an hour and 28 minutes this morning, which is 28 plus 30 minutes longer than we wanted to go. I hope you got something out of the broadcast. Let me know either way if you did or you didn't. Again, thumbs up if you like the broadcast and why in the comments. Very important. Thumbs down and why you didn't like the broadcast in the comments. Very important. I try to make the changes or keep doing things that